Jungkook sighed. He had his hands on his waist as he looked down at his wife sitting on bed. She was angry, clearly matching the red angry bird. Nothing he did was able to fix her mood. She looked at him with a glare. Ryan, just go away. You can't even do a simple thing. She threw the cushion at him and instantly regretted because the force only added to her pain. She winced and Jungkook instantly knelt in front of her, holding her. Jungkook, hey, be careful. He first made sure she was alright, and as soon as she was, she pulled herself away from him and turned her back at him. He chuckled silently because if he did out loud, he would be sleeping on the couch tonight. He sworn he was going to remind her everything once the baby was delivered. How extreme mood swings she used to get, and how he used to bear them. Oh, he was ready to brag all of it. Jungkook, alright, here. He sat down on the floor in front of her, and she peeked at him over her shoulder, then turned around and started to make a pony out of his hair. Her fingers were really gentle and comforting as they brushed through his hair. Her mood swing seemed to be getting better as she tied his hair in a pony, and once he turned towards her, she pulled a few strands out, letting them fall loose. Ryan, my baby better go on you. Such a handsome human. He chuckled and held her hands and kissed them. Jungkook, I'd rather have our baby a copy of you. Beautiful, kind, and brave. Ryan, no. She glared and he instantly rose his hands, surrendering. Jungkook, okay, no. He'll be like me. She laughed, clearly satisfied with the answer, and he helped her lay down on her spot. He removed her robe, leaving her in a nightie, making sure she was comfortable. Jungkook, milk? She nodded, even if she didn't like it, but knew it was good for the baby. It was her seventh month, and Jungkook was always careful of her since day one. She sometimes felt bad for making him work so much, but every time she tried to talk about it, he would say, it's nothing in front of what you are doing. Raising a baby in you for 9 months. You are strong, and I love you. Jungkook took a seat beside her, and his one arm went behind her as he helped her drink the milk. He stayed there as she slowly finished the whole glass, then laid her back. Ryan, I can do these things myself, but you have spoiled me so much. I don't feel like moving on my own. Jungkook, yeah, I'm here to move you around and keep you in my arms if you need to walk. She chuckled and poked his cheek. Ryan, the baby is going to be extremely lazy. Jungkook, I'll hire a yoga instructor for you. Pilates should work fine too. Wine, are you the same man who was not letting me move on my own a moment ago? Jungkook, it is different. Wine, it's not. He rolled onto his side, taking off his shirt, ready to get in as well. Jungkook, it is. His cell phone started ringing right when he was getting in his side. He picked it up and laid down on his side. His one arm went around Wine. She didn't understand anything, knowing it was related to his business. She waited for 5, 6, 7 minutes. She was getting bored. She huffed and grabbed some markers from bedside table. She usually drew in her free time to kill the time. She always tries to keep herself busy in different things most of the time. When she turned towards Jungkook, she smiled when he noticed his eyes, which reflected a message that he was sorry for taking so long. She opened the cap of one marker and started to fill his tattoos with colors. It was probably going to rub off hardly, but he didn't complain as long as she was happy. He kissed her head quietly and allowed her to do as she pleased. She took different markers and colored, starting from his wrist, and the more she proceeded, the more his tattoos turned from cool to cute. It was a broad choice of colors on the black ink. Once he was done, he placed the phone away. She put the marker down when she was halfway done with his arm and rested her head on the bed and closed her eyes. Maybe she was going to sleep, he thought. He was about to pick up the markers when she got up again and started to continue coloring. He wouldn't understand her most of the times. She was unpredictable, but he found her each and every move cute and adorable. Wine. That's way too many tattoos. Jungkook. You don't have to color them all. She shook her head and continued. Wine. I want them too, she said as she got done with it and kissed his arm at the empty spot and left her signature underneath. Jungkook planned to get a tattoo out of it right there. The lipstick stain and the signature. It looked hot, and he was more than reluctant on getting it engraved there. Jungkook, then you can get one after the delivery. Wine, I want it now. She pouted, and Jungkook took the marker from her. Jungkook, let me draw one on you then. He started to draw one near her collarbone. It was almost unfair how her drawing turned out to be like a 6-year old, and his was the most beautiful piece of art. He clicked the picture and showed it to her, which she loved, and all he wanted to see was the smile on her face, which he was blessed with. Jungkook, you should sleep now. It's late. The more he took care of her, the more dependent she was getting on him in that condition. And Jungkook didn't mind it at all. He meant when he said he would roam around with her in his arms. She turned with her back facing him and he back hugged her, holding her hand, his other hand caressing her belly, and he kissed her cheek. Jungkook, I love you both so much.